A few years ago, I thought that being good with money meant you had to understand everything. Investing, pensions, tax, credit scores, interest rates, the economy. And honestly, it made the whole thing so overwhelming that I would just bury my head in the sand, keep spending, and hope my card didn't get declined. But after teaching myself money and building a six-figure investment portfolio and realizing that school basically taught us nothing useful about personal finance, I've learned something really important. Financial literacy doesn't start with knowing everything. And it definitely doesn't start with getting a finance degree. And the biggest shift wasn't learning every finance term, it was learning which habit actually moved the needle. So in this video, I'm sharing 7 simple habits that will help you become financially literate without feeling overwhelmed. And yes, even if you're starting from scratch. Make sure you stay until the last one because that one is my favorite. Number 1, build your personal money map. Before you learn anything else, get clear on what's your current financial situation. And I get it, sometimes it feels easier not to look, because if you don't know the number, you don't have to deal with the number. But the problem is, when money stays vague, it feels scarier than it needs to. So before you learn anything else, build your money map. Write down how much you earn, how much you spend, how much do you owe, how much you have saved up, what your fixed costs are. Just write it all down. Not to judge yourself, just to see your situation clearly. Once it's written down, it stops being the scary cloud in your head and becomes information you can work with. Then set a specific goal. And I don't mean to be rich, because what does rich even mean? For one person, it might be 1 million. For another person, it might be 3 million. For someone else, it might be just having savings, being debt-free, and not being afraid of any bill that comes through. So define what you actually want and be specific. For example, your goal might be purchasing a house that's worth $500,000, or paying off all your debts, or increasing your emergency fund to allow you to leave the job that you hate. That goal becomes your anchor. So next time you get the urge to impulse spend because you're sad, bored, or just need a quick dopamine hit, that goal gives you a reason to pause, because you're reminding yourself, is this helping the life I'm trying to build, or is this just a momentary distraction? Number 2, for the first month, check in with your money once a week and then reduce it to once a month. You know that moment when you open your banking app with one eye closed because you're scared of what you're about to see? Yep, I've been there. And this is not financial literacy, this is financial panic. And we don't do that here. So for the first 30 days, I want you to check in with your money once a week. Nothing complicated, just 10-15 minutes. Grab your favorite drink, light a candle, put a face mask on, open your banking app, and look at the following. What came in, what went out, what surprised you, what was worth it, what's your biggest regret, what would you like to change next week? You don't need a perfect budget straight away, you just need awareness. And you're not bad with money, you just might be slightly disconnected because of how easy nowadays it is to spend money with a single tap. So these weekly audits help you reconnect. But here's the important part. Don't just look at the money and move on. At the end of each check-in, choose one tiny money focus for next week. For example, maybe you want to get less takeaways or canceling subscriptions you don't use anymore. Moving on to number 3, decide to earn more. This one is really important because a lot of personal advice out there often focuses on cutting back as much as you can and being your best frugal self. And yes, spending intentionally is important, but at some point, you can't cut your way to the life you want. There is only so much you can reduce, but there is a lot you can improve when it comes to your earning. And listen, I'm not saying this in a toxic hustle kind of way. I'm not saying you need to work 24/7 or monetize all your hobbies or never rest. Please don't do that. But if you clicked on this video, I'm going to assume that you don't just want to understand money better. You probably want more options and more freedom. And one of the biggest things you can influence over time is your earning potential. Your skills, your career, your negotiation skills, confidence, your ability to change direction. And that could mean asking for a pay rise, switching jobs, learning a higher value skill, freelancing, or starting a side income. Because sometimes the most financial literate thing you can do is stop asking, how do I spend less? And start asking, how can I earn more? Number 4, talk about money more. A lot of us grew up in homes where money either wasn't talked about at all, or it was only talked about when something was stressful. Then we become adults and end up struggling and trying to figure out huge financial decisions, all on our own. And then we wonder why money feels so intimidating. But talking about money can teach you so much, and it doesn't need to be invasive. You don't have to ask your friend how much they have saved 5 minutes into brunch. Just lead with curiosity. Ask things like, how do you organize your savings? What helped you start investing? How do you organize your money? Have you ever negotiated a salary? The more we normalize these money conversations, the less scary money feels. And honestly, you will probably realize that most people are just like you. They are trying to figure it out as they go. Nobody got handed a perfect instruction manual, and if they did, I definitely didn't get get one. Number 5, learn the difference between saving and investing. This is one of those savings that really changes how you think about money. Saving and investing are not the same thing. Saving is for money that you need soon or money that you can't afford to lose. Investing is for money that you want to grow over the long term. So savings are usually for things like emergency funds, holidays, house deposit, basically any short-term goals. On the other hand, investments are for things like retirement, financial freedom, long-term wealth building. This matters because if you only save, your money will not grow sufficiently over time. But if you invest money you need soon, you could be forced to sell when the market is down. And that is not the kind of stress we're trying to create. So once you understand the difference, you stop asking, should I invest? And you start asking a much better question. What is this money for? I like to think of it as giving every pound a job. Some money is there to protect you, and some money is there to grow for future you. Number 6, create a money learning system. Please do not try to learn everything about money in 1 week. You are just going to end up confused and overwhelmed. One minute you're learning about budgeting, then someone starts talking about pensions, then you see a TikTok about investing, and suddenly you find yourself with 47 tabs open, feeling way worse than before you started. So instead of learning randomly, learn in order. Just pick one topic a week. For example, week 1, learn about budgeting. Week 2, emergency funds. Week 3, credit cards. Week 4, debts. You get the gist. You don't need to master every topic. What you're trying to do is just build familiarity. And the more familiar money topics become, the less intimidating they feel. Habit number 7, calculate cost per use before spending. This is one of my favorite habits because it makes spending feel more intentional without making it feel restrictive. It's very easy. Basically, before buying anything, ask yourself this: how many times will I realistically use this? Then divide the price by that number. A £120 coat worn 100 times will only cost you £1.20 per wear. A £70 holiday outfit that you only wear once will cost you £70 per wear. And this doesn't mean you're not allowed to buy fun things. Sometimes you'll still decide, you know what, I want it. And that's fine. At least the decision is more honest. Because the real question isn't just can I afford this or that. It's does this actually fit into my life? Your real life, not your Instagram life, not fantasy you, not holiday you. Actual you. The one who already owns 4 similar things and will probably reach for the same comfy outfit anyway. You don't need to fix your entire financial life in one day. Start with one habit, one check-in, one better decision. And if you really want a practical next step, watch this video next. It's all about what to do on payday so your money feels organized the moment it lands. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.